I mean,
All right, perfect. Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, or evening, whatever time you're watching this from. I'm super excited to have here a young man. I'm inviting young people because I want to inspire the old and the young ones, younger ones, to take action to start in their entrepreneurship journeys, whether that's in school or out of school, in business or whatever you're taking off on. So I didn't have much of this experience, and I just learned actually this morning that there's something called the self-selection bias.
okay.
So pretty much, this bias says that you start relating uh, all things according to your circle. So, for example, people that are in poor circles, people of poverty, they see the world as a harsh place to live in, and people that are living in wealth or commodities, then they see the world with a different scope. And what I'm doing is trying to get more people to see the bright side of life. And even though being a realist person, uh, showing that we all face problems, but people like Josias here is going to share his story and will let us know how he's overcoming some of his own obstacles. And
Mhm.
I'm doing this for the same sake. So uh, I got to meet Josias through Alex and Fabi after the first time I went to their office, and just learning that you were my same age, 19 back then, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. That was pretty amazing because I don't find that many people driven and doing the work that Fabi and Alex do at that age. So that's how I met you, and that was truly an honor. And having you on here is gonna be more exciting. So let's get started with your introduction. You have the mic.
Well, thank you again, Adolfo, for having me on your podcast. Yes, my name is Josias Paul. I met Adolfo through one of our meetings. It was on a Wednesday night, and when he walked in, and I learned that he was my age. At first, I didn't know he was my age because he had a beard back then. So I thought he was like 23, 22. But when I first saw him, I saw that he was 19 at then too. And for me, I was like happy to know because not a lot of people, like he said, do the business that we do not because they don't want to, but they don't see the vision for it. So for me, when I first started the business, my auntie introduced it to me, and when she first introduced it to me, I wasn't stoked about it because I was already starting a different kind of job. So at the time when she told me, I told her I just started like a week from the job I had before. I said, I don't know if I want to meet the person Alex that he was referring to. She said, go meet Alex. I said, I don't want you to go out because I was working Cutco. I was selling knives. She was like, I don't want you, to do knives and things of that nature. It's dangerous and stuff like that. I told her, I just started. I want to give it a try. Let me, but then I'm grateful that she let me meet Alex because I think like it's the best thing that ever happened to me because I see the potential and what it will do for help other peoples in the future. So when I met Alex, the first time when Alex contacted me, I couldn't meet with him. I was like, I didn't know who he was. I was like, I don't know who this person is. He's texting me, calling me. But then, I came off of work the second day, and I said, let me see with him. And I sat down with him. He showed me the business opportunity, and I really loved it from the first time I saw it. The second day, he came to my house. Him and his wife, Fabi. They sat down with me with my auntie, and I just got started from then. And ever since then, like the first meeting I went to, it was back in May of 2019, last year. I really loved it. I loved everything they was talking about. Because financial, it was more in the financial sector, and and when I see that's where a lot of people are having trouble in. Unfortunately, you see a lot of people, 60s, 70s, still working at like fast food restaurants, have no money for savings, things of that nature. And a lot of people either they live in a house where they pay the mortgage off, but they have no money to, feed the whole family in the house, and they're just sitting in there and not doing anything. So for me, I knew I didn't want that for my future. So, I just stuck around. Right now, I'm building myself. I'm improving myself, self developing things of that nature. So for me, I'm just trying to build my self every step of the way and take it a day at a time. Sometimes people want things to be so quick that things don't happen quickly. Like school, you go to college for 4 years, you don't go there for like a month and you got the degree. So things takes time. If you're like a patience person and you're willing to grow, you could do anything you put your mind to.
Definitely, I totally agree with you. It's killing that instant gratification monkey we have in our heads.
Mhm.
Um, and being 19, this young, I think we all face with that impatience of wanting everything now to yesterday. Like if the world is going to end. I face that same thing. I gotta tell you, even when it came to getting my license, for the life insurance, I wanted to just get in the first week, 2 weeks, and it didn't happen because I didn't focus,
Okay.
and second, I didn't. It was mainly focus. It was mainly me, And when you make that realization, you have control over your actions, and that's something I barely see in young people like ourselves. So I want to talk. I want to have the young people that are listening to this share your story in the sense of your childhood, maybe some steps that made you decide, hey, I don't want this for my life. And so in school, what were you studying, and you know did you change routes or not? How did that go?
Growing up, fun fact, my grandpa, the business that I'm doing, my grandpa used to do it since the 80s. And then before he passed away, his daughter, my auntie, that's how she knew about the business. Because after he passed away, it helped her and her mom to where since like 2009, her mom haven't been working at all.
Mm,
So, I saw the freedom in, when you have a plan and like steps, even though you don't know when something's bad gonna happen, when you have a plan, it works, it benefits you. So growing up, I always saw my grandpa. He I can say, he always worked at home. So he
okay.
never worked out. I remember my grandma used to tell me when I was little, I always say I don't want to work in the sun. I just want to work inside like an office and help people and stuff like that because that's what he did. Because for me, I was like I ain't trying to get burned. It's too hot outside. So growing up, my grandpa, my aunties, my uncles, my parents, they really shaped me for how I am now and wanting to learn and grow. Because I remember when I was like 6 years old or 7 years old in first grade, they're showing me how to do letting me know if I'm getting something wrong or if I'm teaching me how to say my ABCs, my numbers, my addition, stuff like that, just to put me a step ahead, just in case when I get into like the school, the class, I know what I'm doing. But from there, I used to be a bad kid when I was little. I used to, back then they used to give like yellow card, red card. I used to get like red cards all the time. But I think I got humble a little bit after I switched schools. And when I switched schools, I didn't know nobody in the school. So I went from like Hollandale to like Miami, and Miami's a bit different. So I was like, okay, I ain't trying to get in trouble with these kids and stuff like that. So it really got me to like be patient with myself, to behave much better. And from there, growing up, I saw how hard my parents were working there every day. Like when you're young, you don't think about it, but as you grow and you look back, you're like, oh, okay. My mom, like 1 year, I used to always go to my auntie house, and that's because my mom used to work from like 9 to like 8 at night, and she couldn't pick me up from school or my dad either, so because he used to drive trucks. So growing up, I just see the how hard work can do for a person to just put you in a position to where you're paying off your house. You're sacrificing thing in benefit for others, for your kids, for your family. So I saw that as something important. And for me, growing up, when I'm going like high school now, like middle school, I learned how to build a team through sports. I think my abilities to like talk to somebody or bring somebody up from where they're at, I think through basketball, it really helped me a lot because I was able to see their weaknesses and turn into strengths for them or show them how their weakness actually could be an attribute that they can use in the midst of a game or a class group project. So those different little things I think build me to how I am today. And also, I think not following the wrong group. 'Cause I think when you're young, a lot of times I feel like kids get peer pressured and doing things that they don't want to. And when they're doing it at a young age, it just keeps compounding until they're like in high school and about to be an adult. Like they run around with the same kids, things of that nature. So I didn't really have a group that I stuck to. Not because I didn't want to, but I lived far from my school, so I couldn't like after school hang out with kids and stuff like that. So usually I was just home and I watched a lot of anime. I'm not gonna lie, I watched a lot of anime. And if you watch anime, you can tell how like really good it is and how it relates to reality. So I think in my mind, I wasn't following others, but I was leading myself to be something different. I was just listening to the right voices, to the right things. Like, if you follow the NBA, LeBron, things of that nature are like people who's in that status to where success, they're driven towards it. It's not like, oh, they're making excuses and things of that nature. So for me, it took time. But being in the business that I am, it helped me engulf it and like be able to and show it out like how I am now with you, Adolfo.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You're super fluent in your speech. You certainly show the leadership skills you learned in school and outside of it right now. Maturity is a gift, brother. I think for a lot of young people like ourselves, we don't have that maturity. It has
Mhm.
to be either from examples in our families and some reflection from ourselves so that we get to that level. But a lot of people, still face the same problems, and they may not realize the gifts that they have in front of them. And I can tell you've been a great student in school, and with the business I see you're killing it. You're helping a lot of people out. You're showing them the business, and I see you're seeking out a lot of help too. So that's wonderful. Congrats on that.
Thank
uh,
you, thank you.
how did it go in school in terms of did you choose from the beginning you wanted to be in the financial industry, or did you make a switch at some point?
It took time. Like when I first came out, I became a computer science. I wanted to do computer science because I took some classes in high school and I saw that's the direction the world is taking. Like
Yeah.
if you look now, technology, now they have electric cars. Now people don't have to go to stores to get their groceries. They could just, type in like what they want and it comes to them. So I saw that that's what the future is gonna lead to. So I wanted to see how to build apps, things of that nature. But when I was in school, it wasn't that it wasn't interest to me. I just didn't know nothing about it. Like I went in and like the interest was there, but like the drive to say, okay, I'm gonna sit down and 3 hours every day, learn a code and things of that nature, it just didn't happen. Especially with how I was. I'm more like a relationship type of person. So I get like sidetracked easy just a little bit.
Yeah.
So me doing that, I was like, no. So I was grateful when I met Alex at that time. I was already thinking about switching majors. So when
Okay.
his thing is in finance. So
Yeah.
right when I okay, I'll just do business. And then when I switched over to business, I liked it. But what I see in business school is that they teach you how to get a job, like how to work for somebody. It don't teach you how to run your own business if you wanted to. So for me, I like learning how the balance sheet, the income statement work, the balance sheet
Yeah.
work. But it wasn't like, okay, in the beginning years, you'll know that it'll be difficult because you have to get the funds to run your business. You need the equipment, the resources to run your business. Those things they don't teach it in school. Or
Not at all.
you need a mindset to not give up. The first year probably not gonna happen. Like if in fact Amazon, it took them 10 years to make a profit until 2007, and they skyrocket. Not a lot of people are gonna wait 10 years just to wait till their business skyrockets. So that they don't I see they don't teach that in school, and in the business that we are in right now, they teach it a lot. I just left from a mastermind call where we read books and we trying to help better our mindset, because the mindset is everything. So for me right now, I'm doing business, more math on it, and it's been good, it's been okay. But after I graduate, I'm not looking to like work somewhere. I'm looking to keep on building and improving myself.
Awesome. Love it, brother. Yeah, that's wonderful. What kind of things are you doing right now? Going back to the mastermind. What kind of
um,
things have you done in the past, now, in the future? What do you plan on doing to better
right
yourself?
now in the mastermind, we read so far. We're on our third book. We read Byproduct by Ian Proctor. We read Think and Grow Rich, and now we're on the 21 Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. It's really good. Like I think being a leader in the world, there's a lot of followers, but if you become a leader, I feel like everything will come to you at that standpoint. Because a lot of people are looking for what to do, or they just don't have the knowledge of it. But imagine you have like what you're doing. You can lead people. You know how to speak to people. You have character. You can build relationships, things that nature. If you put yourself in a leadership standpoint, you can lead others and attain any goal that you want. And I think people are looking for leaders now. You look at, LeBron and what he does. He do sports, and now he's doing social justices and things of that nature.
Mhm.
It's just his leadership ability and his mindset to just keep on growing with it. So for me in the future, just to continue to grow myself and be able to help others achieve their goals and dreams that they want for themselves and their families.
Wonderful. Great. So, you've dropped so many gems already.
No problem.
uh, what is it like with your friends? How do you who do you surround yourself with?
With friends, mindset of it, I have friends, but I don't hang out a lot with. I know with COVID and everything,
Yeah.
I have friends, but I haven't been around them too much. But my girlfriend Carolina, we both growing in the business together,
Wonderful.
and mindset wise, it's just like a take it a day at a time. At times, like you said, there's obstacles.
Yeah.
When you're doing something new, especially with somebody else, and you try to, if you're doing it by yourself, you know how to do it. When you put two people in a project, you have to learn how each other are in order for it to succeed. So for me right now, I'm just learning how to blend with her and with others and just keep it growing. But who I'm surrounded with, Alex and Fabi, Mark from the business, and those leaders that's there because they have a goal that they want to take in the future.
Yeah.
They have someone that they want to be, either it's for their kids. For me, it's my cousins and my siblings because I'm like the oldest on my dad's side. So everybody else is like younger than me. And if they're not younger than me, then they're already old, but they're not doing what I'm doing. So I see that, okay, I'm in a pivotal spot where, when they say you could change your generation financially, like that's where I'm at right now. So for me, it's just to be focused, be around those, Alex, Fabi, Mark, those type of people because they can help me lead my future to like a brighter spot.
Wonderful. Yeah, you're practicing that instant gratification, delaying that instant gratification. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen you posting going out, no vices. I don't know. Talk a little bit about that
Mhm.
because some people, I had some family members tell me, yeah, Adolfo, it's like you're missing out your teenage years. You should be going out, having girlfriends and this and that, giving me all the great advice. They think it's good. But I don't take it because I don't want their lives. What has been with you in that sense?
I think you can live young, but I think it's good just to live with a purpose because like a
Mhm.
lot of people when they're young, yeah, it's good to go out and things of that nature. But all I see there is you just like spending. If you're not spending a lot of money, you're using your time for something else that's not gonna benefit you, for the future. So from there, the reason why I don't go out because I'm either trying to study to get a license or just trying to better myself in knowing what I'm doing in the business because some people the reason why they're quick isn't because they don't know what they're doing, but they just lack the discipline to keep consistent in what they're doing. Like even for me, I'm trying to get better. It's being consistent, but the discipline and me not giving up and stuff like that is still there because I know where I want to go. And sometimes it's not that they don't know where they want to go. They just don't have the real sense of how reality is. Because some people could say, I want to do this, I want to become a doctor, then do this, do this, do that, but they don't see like what they would be doing in their first year or how long it'll take for them to achieve like either a six-figure income as a doctor and things of that nature. So sometimes it's just to look more into, but to realize that even though you're young, you're built life for like 60 years. I think the life expectancy is like 85 now. So
Yeah.
you could have fun anytime. You could feel young, but it's much better to do something that's worth it that can leave a legacy for you and your family. So I think that's why I don't mind not going out because I know I could do the same thing when I'm 30. If I'm making like $50,000 a month, it's you have more time to do anything you want. It's not like, oh, I'm young, I have time. When you're making like 50,000, $10,000 a month, you have the time in the world to do anything you want now.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. No, man, you have your mindset is way ahead of your time right now. You're living that. Your mindset is that of a 25-year-old in my head. That's what I see. Very mature, very disciplined. I see you doing great stuff. So I think I missed this question. I didn't ask you. How do you help people in the financial industry? What do you do specifically? How do you guide them? How many people have you helped in the past? Go ahead.
So in the financial industry, is like I said, is based on finance, and we help people with life insurance and investments. A lot of times, I know even as we're young, we're like we don't need life insurance. We're young, stuff like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Most of the times, our parents, sometimes like I said, not a lot of people have the financial education that they need.
Mm-hmm.
So that means our parents as well. So if something happens to us, we're like their retirement away. Because a
Yep.
lot of times parents stay with their kids when they're like 30, 40 years old, they're living with their kids or they're in living in a retirement home. So for me, I what I'm doing is I'm just looking for young people, of course, to help them learn more about finance, or if they're not like interested, that's okay. But at least so they could help their parents, because
Mm-hmm.
it's unfortunately a lot of times their parents. Imagine like a family coming from like Honduras or like from a different country and stuff like that, but they don't know nothing in USA. They don't know
Yeah.
what finance is. They don't know what language it is. They don't know, what's bad, what's good. Somebody could just say, "Hey, you want this?" and they say, what okay, they take it. So or basically financially we help families if they already have a plan, we help them have a better plan and help them actually plan for their future. So in
Wonderful.
finance, we help them with life insurance and investments. We help them save towards their retirement because unfortunately not like more than half of the millennials don't have savings for their retirements.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the two things that we really focus on.
Perfect. And how many people have you helped so far?
How it helped so far? I don't. I didn't know. I didn't have the
Yeah.
numbers, but I helped a lot. I helped like over like 20 families.
Wow.
Most of them was with my parents, my cousins, my cousins with their kids, my parents, my aunties, my uncles. But I'm looking for more. Like 20 is good, but I'm looking for way more than that.
Definitely.
People that I train, that I help, but I'm looking for way more.
Awesome. Absolutely. Dude, that is that is wonderful. So that's for you guys. You have Josias Paul right here. If you guys want to learn more about him, where can they find you?
I'm on Instagram at I think it's jp.legendary. I think you type Josias Paul, it'll pop up, and I'm also on Facebook.
Okay, we're gonna have the links down below anyway. But it's been
Okay,
great,
and link
man.
down below.
It's very inspiring, dude. I know you were
Thank
nervous
you.
at the beginning, but you just dropped very good gems, and I'm sure some people are going to follow you later and keep on
Hmm.
seeing what you're working on. So keep on publishing, keep on doing your great stuff, man. And hopefully in the future have you here again with more than 20 families helped. All right.
Of course, of course.
Any last
Thank you
thoughts
again.
before we leave?
Last thoughts would be like strive for greatness. I think if you put your mind to something and you achieve it, you just know that you can do it. The negative thoughts, stay positive, be around good people, and you'll achieve anything that you put your mind to.
Wonderful. Man, Josias, thank you. I appreciate your time. Thanks for your energy and your wisdom, brother. I
Thank you. No,
appreciate
thank you.
everything.
Thank
Okay.
you. All right. Thank you, Duffo.
See
Bye.
you later.